What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Chris. I'm back again with another YouTube video, and today I want to talk about Resident Evil. Now, Resident Evil just came out with another title, Resident Evil 3, and they've been doing these remakes for the last 2 years. Now, the last main entry was that Resident Evil 7, and they did like a first-person type thing, which was cool and all. Now, before I even get into, how I feel about the remakes, I just wanted to say, like, the idea of going first person for the Resident Evil game, it was like out of the thinking outside the box. I mean, I haven't got my hands on it, never played it. Don't think I ever will play it just because the fact that it's not really a Resident Evil game. And by that, I mean, it doesn't have zombies in it, really. I mean, it's the fungus monsters or whatever the fuck they're supposed to be. I mean, maybe if it was cheap. I'm not paying $10 for it, though. Like, I seen it on the Microsoft store, and I'm like, man, fuck, I'm not gonna pay $10 for this shit. But on to the remakes. Now, full disclosure, I fucking hate the third person over the shoulder shooter like they started doing it in Resident Evil 4. Like, to me, once they went over the shoulder and zombies start shooting at you and shit, I'm like, it's not really Resident Evil. Like, back when Nemesis had the rocket launcher, okay, yeah, he was shooting at you and shit, though, but like, Nemesis was being controlled by like Umbrella. They had like a computer software controlling him. You know what I'm saying? Giving him missions. Like the zombies in Resident Evil 4, like, they thinking like, oh yeah, maybe I should shoot at this guy. Now, like, I personally, I haven't bought a Resident Evil game since Resident Evil 3. You know what I'm saying? And I kind of fucked up and I brought like Resident Evil Raccoon City just because it said Raccoon City on there. And I was like, oh, bet they taking it back to Resident Evil 2. You know what I'm saying? Let's see, the problem with Capcom is they just keep on trying to get this Resident Evil 2 money. Like, Resident Evil 2 was like the peak of the franchise, really. But after 4, that shit went downhill. Like, Resident Evil 5 is dog shit. Resident Evil 6 is dog shit. Resident Evil 7, that's bullshit. And the worst part about it is when I get on YouTube and I check out the reviews for like Resident Evil 2, the all new edition, man, all these YouTubers are shilling like for Capcom just for them to get free copies of the game or wherever. But I mean, like, to what end? So they can play this 2.5 hour game that's like dog shit with like zero replayability. Like, in all seriousness, I literally sat down and watched YouTube videos of the gameplay. And I'm like, okay, I got the gist of the game. I watched them play through it. I don't need to play it. I'm saying, what's going to be, there's not going to be like a different experience. Like, each time someone else picks up the controller, it's so fucking linear. Like, back in Resident Evil 3, the original, there was so many different like options you can choose from. Like, when Nemesis appeared, like, you could either choose to fight or run. Like, in this all new edition of Resident Evil 3, like, there's no options to choose anything. You just play the fucking game. And I'm like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, this is not Resident Evil 3. But like this all new edition of Resident Evil 2, man, that's the worst part, bro. As soon as that shit came out, everybody was shilling the fuck out of it. I'm seeing all type of gamer reviews of people saying it's the most amazing fucking game. And I'm like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, it looks like dog shit. Like, the combat looked whack. I mean, Resident Evil was never known for its combat, but I mean, from what I've heard, like, the zombies are basically bullet sponges, and like, it's randomized. Like, they randomize health basically. And I'm like, okay, well, that's weird. And the thing is Mr. X, they put all this work into Mr. X on Resident Evil 2. He acts like Nemesis. For real? Like, that's the problem. Like, in Resident Evil 2, the remake, Mr. X acts like Nemesis, and Nemesis acts like Mr. X. Like, Mr. X follows you around. He pops up, throughout the police station, but like Nemesis is following you or wherever, but it's all scripted. From what I heard, from what I seen, I mean, but anyway, I'm like over it. I'm just watching them come out with game after game of Resident Evil. I'm like, who's buying this shit? After Resident Evil 4, I was like, fuck, like, I'm not buying no more Resident Evil games until they go back to like the way they have been. But like the problem with that is so many of these kids from Fortnite and Grand Theft Auto are like, oh, this is the best game ever. Yeah, but I'm gonna wrap up this video, guys. I just basically wanted to say this. Resident Evil as a franchise has been dead ever since Resident Evil 4. And this brand new Resident Evil 4 remake is going to be trash. It's going to be so trash that you guys are going to be like, why am I keep on giving Capcom our money? I mean, for real, guys, just think about it. When was the last time Capcom released a good quality game? I mean, especially this gen. Matter of fact, not even just Capcom. Like, the whole gaming industry, it's all trash. The new Resident Evil 8 is going to be even more trash. It's going to be the trashiest shit that ever came out on console or on PC. Seriously, guys, I think I'm just going to not sit this generation out. Like, really, there was no games for the Xbox One or PlayStation 4. I mean, and you guys think I'm going to go get Series X? Gaming's dead, guys. Go get yourself a PlayStation 2 and remember the heydays. Fuck it. Like, we have internet connection and no fucking games to play online. Like, the last good game to play online was Halo 2. And that was 15 years ago. So, I mean, that says a lot about the industry today. But yeah, Resident Evil 4, the remake, Resident Evil 8, don't buy that shit. That shit's gonna be dead on arrival. You guys are gonna pay $60 for a 2.5 hour game that has no fucking zombies in it. I just got done reading somewhere that they have werewolves in Resident Evil 8. Fucking werewolves. I mean, since they're remaking so much shit, why don't they just go ahead and remake Resident Evil 1? Make it over the shoulder, third person shooter, just like the rest of it. Fucking end this, Capcom. Put a bullet in the head of Jill Valentine and Chris Redfield for the last final time.